Is your PC just too big? Well, maybe consider a Nook. So at CES 2025, Asus is offering updates to their mini PC lineups, and if you're somebody looking to downsize your computing needs, then let's walk through some of the options that they have here. But before we do, I want to explain briefly the difference between the mini PC lineups that they have here, because Asus has been making mini PCs for a long time, but recently, that past couple years, they bought the Nook division from Intel and have been continuing down that legacy. So Asus is not new to the mini PC lineup. The Nook division is, and there are differences between the Nook and non-Nook offerings that they have. So as of right now, the Nook lineup is meant to be more of a premium device, premium features, premium feel, things like that. And also as of right now, it is only offering Intel-based solutions. That might not be true in the future, but as of right now, that is a distinguishing feature of the Nook. You'll also notice that all of the models have the word Pro in them, once again indicating that they are high-end with very rich, robust feature sets. But that doesn't mean their other mini PC offerings, like their ExpertCenter series, is any less capable. They're just targeting different demographics with different configurations, and trying to make a clear distinction between the Nook lineup that they have and then their other mini PC offerings like ExpertCenter. Before we dive into the models that they're showing off here, I do want to mention that this video is sponsored by Asus. Thank you to them. And what that means is that while Asus wanted me to look at specific models and feature sets of those, everything expressed in this video are my own opinions, my own thoughts. They did not script anything out, and they do not get final say over the edit of this video. So with that in mind, let's look at the offerings. So here on this platform, we have two models, the Asus Nook 14 Pro AI and the Asus ExpertCenter PN54. So once again, there is a difference between the Nook line and their ExpertCenter line. It's going to come down to feature set and what they have to offer, but let's start off with the ExpertCenter. This PN54 has a lot of the learnings that they've implemented in their Nook line and are updating now to this new form factor that is featuring AMD Ryzen AI 300 series processors, which of course features a Radeon 800M graphics. If we look at the physical hardware itself, it is a very nice design. You start off with a power button here, the courageous headphone jack, two Type A ports, a Type C port, and a dedicated Copilot key. On the top here, you have the dedicated fingerprint sensor. Around the side, we see some nice venting. So along the ports on the back here, we have two display ports. We have two more Type A, one of them being USB 2. We have full-size HDMI, not one, but two 2.5 gig Ethernet ports, and also a DC in, a standard barrel charger. But also it has one more Type C port, and this one does deliver power over this port if you want to try to really slim down your setup, which is nice. It does top off at 100 watt charging, where the actual barrel charger is 120. So you will sacrifice a little bit of performance, but it might be worth it to have a more compact setup. And on the bottom, we have a nice toolless entry with a little locking mechanism to open it up and swap out anything like the SSDs or the DRAM that you have in here. So once again, this ExpertCenter line is aimed at a little bit different market. It obviously powered by AMD graphics, but it is still a very capable device. They're telling me that it's going to come out in February, and with a configuration of 1 terabyte and 32 gigabyte of LPDDR RAM. It'll come in around 800 to 850. The price isn't fully solidified yet, but look for that pretty soon. Now if we move over to the Asus Nook, they have the 14 Pro AI here. Not only that, they also have a 14 Pro AI Plus. This one, you can see, has a little bit of a different design, and the most notable thing is an e-ink display over the top. Now this isn't meant to be a full-on display. This is meant to be something that you just kind of put some passive stats on, just to kind of get a little bit of information. So this is an upgrade option, but internally these are both the same. So I'm mostly just going to focus on the specs here. So internally, this is powered by Intel Core Ultra processors, Series 2, codenamed Lunar Lake. It is a nice, compact little design, but once again, it's meant to be a little bit more premium of a look and feel and feature set. Along the front, we have the same power button, a courageous headphone jack, two Type A ports, one Type C port, but this is also Thunderbolt because of course it's Intel. We have a dedicated Copilot button, Along the top, of course, we have a fingerprint sensor. The sides is where we get the venting. And around the back, we have a little more venting. And this one comes with 2 more Type A ports, another Thunderbolt 4-port, full-size HDMI, and 1 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port, and a DC barrel charger. So both of the 14 Pro AI NUCs are already on the market right now, and they come in around the same price point as around like $800 to $850 depending on the configuration. And if you choose to spring for this special e-ink display, the price goes up about $30 to $40. But if you're looking for something with a little more power, then Asus has the NUC 15 and the NUC 15 Pro. Now these feature Core Ultra processor Series 2, but these are Arrow Lake, so these are H processors, so way more horsepower compared to Lunar Lake. Most notably, that these come in the 40-watt configuration and a 65-watt configuration, pushing even more juice out of these systems if you need a little bit more power. Now, these NUCs are first to market with CU-DIMM support, and if you don't know, CU-DIMM means that it is a clock driver that will allow for higher memory speeds to get a little bit more performance out of your DRAM. Also, they support 2 M.2 2280 size NVMe SSDs. One of them is PCIe Gen 5, the other one is Gen 4. Looking at the actual hardware, we have 1 Type-C port here that is Thunderbolt, 2 Type-A ports, a power button, we have some venting along the side. Along back here we have a DC-in barrel charger, 2 HDMI ports, 2 more Thunderbolt ports, and 2 more Type-A ports, including a single 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port. And if you want to step up to the Pro Plus, you get a slightly larger design, but also a nice metal chassis. The port configuration is actually pretty much the same around the front and even on the back. The same offering of ports on both the Pro and the Pro Plus. Now these devices aren't ready yet. They need a little bit more time. Asus tells me they're coming out in Q1. They also don't have final pricing, but it will fall in line with the similar pricing of the previous models. And the last thing to note is that while the hardware is very polished, pun intended, the software support is. The UEFI is very robust. They have features in there like fan control, which a lot of mini PCs don't have. It does support a headless system if you need that, which is really nice. And they really care about the warranty on this. It's got a 3-year warranty, which is pretty impressive. And once again, something that is different than most of the mini PCs on the market. And they say that the customer satisfaction is so nice that the global return rate is 0.4%, so sub 1%, meaning that supposedly if you buy a NUC system, you love your system and you're not going to return it. But if you're looking for a little bit more gaming power, I'm back on another day to check out the ROG NUC 2025 edition. Now this one features up to a Core Ultra 9 Arrow Lake HX CPU and up to the newly announced NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5080 laptop GPUs. You get dual SSD support. One of them is a PCIe Gen 5 NVMe SSD. It's an easy to upgrade toolless chassis. I'm not going to touch it because I don't want to break it here. And of course, signature ROG RGB lighting. Not only there, you get it here. You get your ports. You got your 2 Type A ports, a Type C port here on the front. And then on the back, I'm just going to turn it off. On the back, you get 4 more Type A ports, a 2.5 gig Ethernet port, and all of the connection needs that you want, 2 HDMI, 2 DisplayPort, and a Thunderbolt port for all of your display needs. Now, I don't know the pricing on this one or the availability. I will say this is a premium product for the people that want to have a really nice, compact, high-end gaming option. Maybe throw it in your home theater, plug it in like a console, and have some fun. So yeah, this is the highest end kind of power you would want in a NUC, and Asus has it. Before we go, I do want to mention that Asus has a wide range of Wi-Fi devices. Not only that, they have Wi-Fi devices that are Wi-Fi 7 down to $200. But notably, There's some cool ones here. This first one is a pocket-size Wi-Fi 6 travel router. This is the RT-AX50 Go. They have the RT-BE58 Go, which is not only a Wi-Fi 7 travel router. When you take it home, you can turn it into a Wi-Fi extender, so you have a use for it both at home and on the go. And then, of course, there is a big dog, the ROG Rapture router setup. This one is the first router to feature an NPU to use the power of AI for all your networking needs. So that is it for the mini PC lineups here at the Asus booth at CES 2025. If you want to see more PC related coverage, then be sure to subscribe here on PCWorld.